Hi, my name is Rubidium. Today we are looking at one of the classic montages of cinema, the training montage. Every sports movie has one, every martial arts movie has one, a lot of other films have something similar. So what I wanted to do was break down the visual language of the training montage and try and work out what the filmmakers are doing, what produces a great montage, and how you can do one as well. Probably the most famous and still one of the most copied training montages in history is Sylvester Stallone in Rocky. This has a ton of the tropes that then became cliches of the athlete or fighter preparing themselves and evolving over time to become ready to take on the champion. Most training montages, including the one in Rocky and pretty much every one subsequent, have a overarching theme, an overarching exercise that starts and ends the montage. Interestingly, for a boxing movie, Rocky usually does one about running. This exercise forms a metaphor for the fighter or athlete's progress as they evolve through their montage. So I was really lucky to have the opportunity to work with Olympic sprinter Stephen Benedict in the Culver City gym that he trains at. Just like Rocky, we chose his running as the base exercise, and we decided to film other ways that he works out and cut them around that. A couple of tips for filming different exercises. It's very tempting to just stand next to the athlete and shoot down on top of them or next to them doing their exercise in kind of a three-quarter way. What's important is that you get coverage and that you make smart choices for how you shoot the exercises so that you can both see what's being done, what they're accomplishing, but also the effect it's having on them. You see the strain and the effort and the growth in the person's expressions. This means designing your shot list to take into account camera movement, tracking with the athlete, but also holding the camera still so the athlete's face can come in and out of frame. The main thing you want is variety. You want at least 5 or 6 different shots of every exercise. You have to be really respectful of an athlete in their training and not ask them to push things too hard or ask them to strain themselves, because not only is that dangerous for the athlete, but it's also gonna spell the end of your shoot. And you want your athlete to be as fresh as possible so that they can give the best performance possible. We had about 2.5 hours to shoot Stephen in his gym. We chose the rings, the pull-up bar, type of sit-up, push-ups, the ropes. Watching some recent training montages, Rocky Balboa and Creed 2, you don't need to get too precious with the lighting. You can have the lights in frame, you can just kind of have high contrast, you can kind of blast the lights right into the camera lens. It's more about the feeling of the exercise and the lighting than it is trying to get something perfectly, softly, beautifully lit. We shot with the Canon C200 as our A-cam on sticks and handheld to get close-ups, and then we had the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera 4K on a Ronin S to get wider shots, moving shots, circling shots, and to shoot the final sprinting out of a car window while we tried to keep pace with Stephen as he ran, which was pretty hard actually. He's a very, very fast man. So once I had all my clips and my 5, 6, 7 shots of each exercise, I assembled all what I thought were the best takes in sequence in my Premiere timeline. What I then did was get my main exercise, which was my sprinting, starting off slow, getting faster, running full speed, and then slowing down, and cut that into 5 or 6 sections. I then took a couple of clips from each of the other exercises and interspaced them gradually between these 6 shots of the running. This gives a great feeling of progression. So the different speed at which Stephen is running then ties into how he's striving and struggling with the different exercises and finally conquering them as he hits full speed on his sprint. I found some music that really tied into the sport montage cliche and cut them together. And then I went in and adjusted the edits so that big moments happened when different beats kick in or different instruments kick in. Stephen is an amazing athlete. He trains pretty much every single day when he's not doing his coaching or motivational speaking. So he's in amazing shape and was able to do anything we asked him for. I really like the way the edit came together, and the interspacing and intercutting of our subcuts of the different exercises worked really well. So after a few little adjustments and edits, this is what we ended up with. For me, it was a great exercise to analyze a type of edit and a type of shoot like a training montage, break it down to what I thought were the really important factors, and then recreate those factors. I think it's an awesome exercise for anyone who is trying to master a particular type of shot or type of scene. Thanks very much for watching. I will see you next time.